Hi everybody. I'm Gunta with Academy Games, and we got in our production copy of Agents of Mayhem: Pride of Babylon. Yay! So, final production of the game is finishing up, and I just want to kind of show you what came in the box. So we have the beautiful big box cover here that just looks great. Awesome back of the box, really big picture of the board. Really happy how that turned out. Our demo box of this was a smaller box the size of our Conflict of Heroes, and it just didn't show it in the same kind of scale. So you open up the box, and now I've already punched all the counters, but the first thing you still see is the sleeve of the rule book. So we have the rule book here with all the rules and examples of the game. We have your two scenario books. So you have your Mayhem mission book and your Legion mission book. We have, each character has their own summary sheet. I guess it's better if I have it this way. I keep trying to show it like this. Yeah. I'm not used to this dual camera setup yet. So we have Fortune here, Hardtack, Hollywood, Dr. Babylon, and the Golem. And these are double-sided. One side is a thematic summary of the character. Gives who they are, some of their special biography things that Persephone and other people on the Ark have written about them. And right here, we have an explanation of their special ability for their base weapon. So this is great for new players who are just learning their game, their first game. What does my weapon do that's special and different than other characters' weapons? And then on the back, it shows the 15 different upgrades that are available to a character. So this is where you go when you're choosing what upgrade you want for your character at the end of the mission. And then if you need to reference what the upgrade does while you're playing, this is where you would look. Then, right away, you see real big, the golems right in the middle. And just really happy with how this miniature turned out. Big chest cavity, so we have a great negative space in the miniature there. Should look awesome when you paint it, where you have the electrical blue lines going across the rock. Really excited to paint that. We have each character has their own character board. Now I want to mention that these miniatures, they've sent them to us in one big bag. So they kind of got a little bent. And so the miniatures you will be getting aren't quite this bent. And because this is PVC, it is quite flexible and strong. So you see we have Glory here. And if you have any trouble, if you feel like it's too bent, you can always dip this in warm water and it should straighten right out. That's the best way if you want to straighten anything that's extremely bent in this PVC material. So we have Fortune with her drone Glory here. And in this tray, you keep all of your unpurchased upgrades for your characters. So you see there are little squares that match the squares on the summary sheets. And then you keep what gadget cards you've discovered for this character. The game comes with, I believe, 6 decks of cards that are packaged separately. And they'll be named deck 1 through 6. And on the first deck, it says open immediately. In that deck will be the starting gadgets for each character. All the other gadgets are in deck 2. And you're not supposed to open any deck until after you've read the first section of rules and played your first game. This keeps organizing your game and playing your first game go much quicker and faster. And then here we have our Mayhem cards, which are you actually get once you've read the second section of rules and play your second game. And the other important thing is you'll punch. There are going to be 3 punch boards. You punch, or actually 5. One of them's cut in half. 5 punch boards. You'll punch boards 1 through 3 right away. Do not punch boards 4 and 5. Those are the ones that are smaller than the others. You'll punch those once you read the advanced rules. For example, all the upgrades are on those. We don't want you to have to sort through all those tokens until you've learned the basic rules of the game. This lid snaps right on. It keeps all the components in place, protecting the box. So it's really easy to carry your characters from game to game. These really turned out fantastically. And there's one for each character. Again, they placed these in a big bag. They were shipped around the world. Went through UPS, the United States Postal Service. I don't know what the Chinese Post is. Might have hit a few other countries, so they got pretty banged up. So Hardek, for example, he came off his base. He has two little knobs on the bottom of his feet. He can actually snap right into his base. And if you ever have this happen to your mentors for any reason, I suggest just putting a little super glue and he'll stick right on base. You can see he holds there just fine with friction fit, but with a little extra glue, he'll be there secure. I also told them that on any remaining miniatures they have to assemble to add a little extra glue to the feet. So it shouldn't happen when they are sent in these trays instead of a big bag of miniatures. But in case it does, hopefully that extra glue will help, and they're really easy to fix otherwise. The next thing is we have these 2 card boxes. The cards will either come wrapped in these card boxes or in one of the unit trays card wells. There are extra end protector cards that make them a little thicker so that all the decks don't fit in here. And also, your starting cards are not meant to go in these boxes. So that's why we have some decks start in your unit trays. But once you have all of the cards unpacked, they'll go into these 2 card boxes. We have these card dividers here that you'll slide to separate the card from the different types of cards. So we also include a solo card divider. The solo cards do not come in the space box, of course. You would have ordered that separately in Kickstarter, or you can get it later on your website. But once you do get it, you'll have this card divider to put them in this card box to keep your cards organized. It's important, though, when you get your game, do not look at these campaign cards. They're numbered I think 1 through 200. And again, there's card dividers for every 50. So you'll find card 50 and 51 and put the card divider between them. When you're playing the campaign, you'll be told, draw card 52. The card dividers are made to make that go quicker. So you just look at the backs of the cards at the top, there's numbers. So you can shuffle through these cards, find the cards you want, and you pull it from the deck. When you need to put it back, you put the cards back in the same order. So card dividers, most card dividers they sent us were not cut because they had not die cut these yet. They wanted to send us this box as quickly as possible so that we could review it, make sure there's nothing missing or any packing mistakes. And in this box, by the way, there's nothing big wrong, so nothing that was going to delay production and shipping of the game. One of the things they did forget to pack were the 2 campaign boards where you use to set up your campaigns. They had no problem saying that that'd get produced in time and included with the box. Here's the 4th player tray. You have a player tray for Hollywood, Hardtack, Babylon, and Fortune. The Golem does not have his own tray. He gets placed on top of this tray here, and his cards are kept in the card boxes, and you keep his counters in the box. I put his counters in Dr. Babylon's second well that's not used for a miniature. And then, also important, Dr. Babylon has these 2 special, what are they called? Gate tokens, rift tokens. And I put one of his gadgets, use those, I put that in his tray with him. We were able to include a few more tokens than we expected because we had room on the counter sheets. So we thought, why not use it? But it means we didn't quite have enough room in the resource tray for all the tokens. The only tokens that don't fit are these extra explosion tokens. I just threw them into the unit tray here, this bottom well, there's a little recess. You can also save any cubes that the unit uses. So every unit has a supply of cubes that they use. For example, Dr. Babylon will have 1 green, 2 yellow, and 5 blue. I keep them usually in this tray with them to make setup quicker and easier rather than in the resource tray. Let me put all this back so we can move on. By the way, if you notice, sleeve cards do fit in this. Now can you hand me a card box, Jim? Sleeve cards also fit into this, but we suggest that you do not sleeve the campaign cards until you reach until they're drawn from the deck. That way you don't accidentally ruin some of the surprises in this campaign. So once you draw them, you can sleeve them, but they'll stay protected in this card box until you do draw them. It'll make sure that you have enough room, because all the cards, when you first start playing Age of Mayhem, may not fit sleeve, but as you are drawing cards from these decks and putting them in your trays, eventually you will be able to sleeve all the cards that are remaining. Next, we have the resource tray here. I punched all the counters, and they fit great in these resource trays. You have your attack statuses, your defense statuses, your movement, your range, and then your special stun and disrupt statuses. There's a well for each of them. Then you have your mayhem tokens. I also put the same size victory point marker and turn marker in there. Then you have the objective markers, and I put the round marker and special unit markers in with those objective markers. You have your timer markers, your special reference markers that are used in the campaign, your explosion markers, which we included more than we were expecting, and then your event markers. And then here you have wells for your cubes, and then also for your 12 dice that come with the game. And the lid, you put the lid on, and it keeps all the counters in place so that if you tip this game on its end, it won't get all messed up and you can easily keep playing the game. We have the counter tray, the Legion minion tray. This houses all the Legion units, plus the Legion, what is it called? Upgrade markers. And then we have all the Legion miniatures here, which just look really cool. Where's the camera? There he is. So we have really excited how these turned out, and can't wait to have you get them to the table. Now this is the most kind of coolest part of the tray, I think, because it fits all the map boards. These map boards turned out great. They flip flat on the table, no problem, and they got die cut fantastically so that they line up fine. And you have all the different level buildings, and these buildings fit. You put your 3x4s in here, then you have your 4x4s, or first your 3x3, then your 4x4s, then you put
4x6.
Yep, the 4x6s. Oh, there's another 4x4 stuck at the bottom of them. 4x6s. Then the base tiles, the 6x6s, go here. And these trays are really cool because there's these little recesses that make it easy to tilt them up. And then your 3x6 ones go there. You have all of your posts housed here, and they work fantastically. We have our base posts. Again, if you haven't seen this in another video, the base plugs, they have a little square. The top of the posts have a little square. They fit into each other, and you can use this to tighten and loosen these. I always have trouble if I accidentally screw these in all the way, because they can go all the way in. it can be sometimes hard to get them out. So that's what I use this for. So you will have a few extra of these. We do that in case they forget to place one in. I think you're meant to have, let's see, 4 times 8, so 36 of these. You need 36 of these. You'll be getting between 36 and 40. Just, we say include up to 40. That way, if they forget to pack a few, you still have enough to game. And if you lose one, you'll have enough for the game. There's also, you should also have, I believe, 52 posts. You might be getting an extra one in your box. We do that for the same reason. That way, if they miss pack by 1, you still have enough for your game. Okay, then last we have the player boards. Can you hand me, I'll use these gadget cards right here. So we have a player board for each elite unit character.
I'm going to go ahead and put one up here while you're starting.
Yeah. And then you also have the squad boards here that you put the squad cards in. So these just really turned out well. So you have Hollywood here, and I have his action gadget, his Photoshop job, and I can slide that right into this board, no problem. And it just fits great. It can fit sleeve cards again. And when I want to remove this, I just press right on this little button here, and it flexes the card up. It will not damage the card. These are high quality, 300, I think, weight, maybe a 310 weight black core. Yeah. And so you can bend them, and they'll flip back to their original shape. So they work great for sliding in and out. And the texture on them will protect them from wearing. So they will just work great, sliding them in and out of this board as you change out your gadgets game to game. You also, again, have your upgrades. As you choose your upgrades, you have 3 different types of upgrades. Experience upgrades, your crystal upgrades, and your Legion Tech upgrades. That cost anywhere from 1 to 3 upgrade crystals that you get at the end of the mission. And you'll be putting these in your board, and you'll be storing them like this game to game. Or I also, when I upgrade them, I sometimes store them in the units well at the bottom here. So I can separate them from what I have not researched to what I have researched. And then you can reference your summary sheet. You only be getting 1 or 2 upgrades for all of your characters after each game. So in our experience, it's really easy to remember you're only adding 1 new special rule to your characters after each game. And then we have the remaining tokens that fit underneath of the player boards. We have the ally tiles for the Golden and Glory. Fortune always gets Glory as an ally, so you'll be placing that right next to her board. And Glory can use her actions here when Fortune takes her turn. We also have these ramps here that you can jump off of the map. One of our Kickstarter supporters came up with the idea, said, hey, you have Cards Game. Why not have ramps that you can jump off of? And we thought that was a great idea. And then we have the Doomsday tiles. And then one of the cards. The other cards are, I believe, are on the other side of the board. But here's one of the cards has a normal side and a destroyed side. And then all your different types of Doomsday weapons that the Legion can deploy. And what's cool about these is that they take up 4 spaces on the board. That's why they're so big. And I think that's everything that we have in the box here. It all packs in very nicely, and it fits flush. Once you take the counter sprues out, once you punch your counters, remove those, everything fits flush with the top of the box, which keeps everything in place. And these trays have just worked out fantastically. So yeah, that is a quick unboxing of what is in our base box here. Again, the only thing that was missing was the campaign boards that will be packed with the rules. But we're really happy with how everything punched out cleanly and correctly, and are looking forward to we'll be demoing the game at Origins Game Fair in Columbus, Ohio. I believe that starts on the 12th. So we hope to see you there. And you have a chance. You can play demo the game in our exhibit hall, sign up for one of the events we're running for the game, or you can play our mega, gigantic Agents of Mayhem board with buildings that stand up to, I think, 5 feet tall is the tallest building we have for that. And it's a really fun way to play the game. So thank you again for all of your support. We're really excited to start shipping you these games soon, and I'll keep you updated as the games are shipped from China and when we expect to receive them in our warehouse and when they'll start to ship to you.